Secret Agent Stache. Secret Agent Stache. Oh, wearing new disguises on every game he streams. Secret Agent Stache. Secret Agent Stache. Oh, wearing new disguises on every game he streams. Secret Agent Stache. Secret Agent Stache. Oh, wearing new disguises on every game he streams. Secret Agent Stache. Secret Agent Stache. Oh, wearing new disguises on every game he streams.
And welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stache here. I am at GIA headquarters, the Gaming Intelligence Agency, and we are here today because we have some paperwork to do. You know, doing all these special gaming missions. It's not all fun and games. I know you think, damn it, Stache, all you do is just game, man. It must be the life. The life. But it's not true. Not true. Sometimes we got to do paperwork. We got to put the paperwork in. We got to put the time in. And today is no exception, agents. So today we are going to have to gather all of the intel that we've amassed over the years now of playing NFT-enabled games. Bring it all together for this one moment. We are going to rate and rank some of the top NFT-enabled games right now in a tier list. And I don't know if you guys have seen any of these tier lists before, so we have some fun doing this. We have some fun doing this. I mean, I call this paperwork. Come on, you know? I'm going to shit all over this, man. All over this paperwork. Going down. But yeah, so what I've been doing here on the channel is we've had a little series here with a bunch of other creator friends who have come on board and have rated some of the top NFT games with us. And you know, we've been able to have a lot of fun with them. But it's been a while since I've done my own, because a lot of times I put up the video of this later on Twitter or recap or something on Twitter. And I show like a graphic, and people are like, Stache, how could you rate this game like this? And I'm like, look, man, this ain't my ratings. This ain't my ratings, man. Look, sorry. What can I do? What can I do? But today they are going to be. So today we are jumping in, and they are going to be my ratings. My ratings. So yeah, hopefully your game has made the list. You know, this list it kind of evolves over time, right? So there's there's a good mix of games that have been in the space for a while and games that are new, right? So I always try and put some newer games onto the list when I can, but there are so many now. It's crazy. It's crazy how many games there are. Raise your hand if you have trouble trying to keep up with all the games. That's why we do what we do here at the Gaming Intelligence Agency, right? Is we try and keep up and keep track of all this stuff together as a community. So, that's what, hopefully you guys are hanging out with us in Discord, chatting about gaming stuff there. I see you guys hanging out here. We got a bunch of our agents in chat. Jasper, Agent Gen X Crypto, all hanging out in chat. Rise at Illuvium has 3 games. I hope they're on their own tiers. Funny enough, though, that's a good question. I do have Illuvium on my list today, but they're not like on a there's not like a separate category for each one for like Illuvium 0 and Illuvium Overworld and Illuvium Beyond. I just kind of call it all one Illuvium. It's a big ecosystem of what's going on. So we're just gonna run with that, but that basically means all the stuffs, right? I take all those things in consideration for that. So that's a good question. That's a good question. And if you guys' game is not on this list today, please put it in the comment below. Make a comment, please. Let me know. Like I said, I update this list as fairly frequently, and we try and have an evolving list of games. So if there's one that you're like, man, I can't believe this is definitely one of the top games to be reviewed, let me know. I mean, I can't get all of them on here. We can only do 25. That's my max. And even that's a lot. Usually we just do 20 with our guests. So we got to jump into this. Otherwise, it's going to go forever. We want to get the paperwork done and get back to playing these games. Even though I do like ranking them. We're going to talk about a little bit about each one real quickly. And then give it my rating and ranking. And exactly why. And I'm not holding anything back. So if you guys came here for hot takes, you came to the right place. Not holding anything back today. Not holding it back. Going for the jugular. I'm just tell it like it is, man. Some people don't like to hear it like that, but that's what I'm coming down. And if I offend you or your favorite project, I'm probably not sorry, but I'm trying to be as honest as possible. At least I think you can appreciate that. All right, let's go dive into this. Will mobile games be included? Yeah, of course. Of course, mobile games will be included. There's not like a ton of mobile games on here, but they are included for sure. All right, let's go do it. Let's go check it out. All right, wait. Let's get a bigger scene here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so here is the list. We'll run down the list real quick, and if you guys, the funny thing is when people watch this later, they're gonna skip around and do all the things. That's fine. But we're gonna bounce around. So we're gonna bounce around on this list. I'm not gonna go in order that you see here. We're gonna kind of bounce around. So definitely worth watching. My opinion on each one of these games. All right, just to run down the list that we have here. We have Alien Worlds, Axie Infinity, Big Time, Champions Ascension, Dead Drop, Dookie Dash, Earth from Another Sun, Eevee.io, Gods Unchained, Illuvium, Impostors, Last Expedition, Mojo Melee, My Pet Hooligan, Phantom Galaxies, The Sandbox, Spider Tanks, Star Atlas. We have a new one to the list, Stella Fantasy, that I just reviewed on my channel. Superior, The Fabled, also new. Thetan Arena, Townstar, Undead Blocks, The Walking Dead Empires, and Wildcard, which is also new to this list. A couple, and Dookie Dash was new too. So we added a couple of new ones here. We switched out a couple and added a couple new ones in here. Now that you guys see the list, what do you think? You see the list. I've revealed it. You see it here. What do you guys now think about this? Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you see a game that you think it should be here? Or do you think this is a pretty good list of like some of the top games? I feel like there's a pretty good swat. I'm not sticking to one specific chain or one specific type of game or any games that are in, you know, like are fully released or not fully released. These are all these games are playable in some sort of state. So I try to pick games that are as playable as possible. I also too, just so you guys know, this is not a sponsored thing. No one paid to be here, so there's no sponsored opinions on this. I'm giving it, you know, like I said, I'm giving it exactly what you guys want to hear. So let's jump into it. Let's dive on in. Let's dive on in. I'm gonna start here with Alien Worlds. We're gonna start at the top with Alien Worlds. You know, this is a game that has been around for a long time, and I went in with them early, and they had a good lead when it came to like incorporating cool blockchain tech and NFTs into like a little game, but they've blown that pretty largely here, I will say. Even though they're still fairly popular on Wax, I feel like they just have not really brought it home. You know, they've expanded with a little bit of here and there, but just really haven't done much from what they could have done with the big lead that they had and the war chest that they had when they started this game. So I'm gonna have to put Alien Worlds in the rec category. I hate to say it, man, you know, because I was really pulling for them. I've been a big Alien Worlds fan, but they just have not gotten enough out. You know, it's just been too long. They just can't deliver. They just can't deliver. So Alien Worlds, first one out the gate, going wrecked. I hate to say it, man, but that's what it is. I mean, it's like I said, it had something cool in the beginning because it was very basic, and there was not a lot of other crypto games out, but a lot of other games have released now, and Alien Worlds just has not been able to keep up with the development. Like, if they had really pushed, they could have continued to do something interesting, but they just haven't. And so I don't know that they're ever really going to come back. I wanted them to continue. I was hopeful. You know, I've been a big supporter of Alien World since the beginning. I still have a land there, but they just haven't done enough. They haven't delivered quick enough on their promises, and that's one of those things where, you know, with a game like this, that is pretty straightforward. It shouldn't take this long to put things out. It shouldn't take this long to put things out. All right, bouncing to the end of the list. We're gonna bounce over here to the end. This is a brand new one. This is a brand new one to the list. Wildcard. What do you guys think about Wildcard? I would love to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. Because I like Wildcard. I played this a couple times on the stream now. It is in closed alpha right now. So you can't just pick it up and start playing. Excuse me. You can't pick it up and start playing. So you guys have seen it on the channel. I know a couple of our agents got to play it. I think Wildcard is by far, out of almost everything, even this list, is probably one of the hands down the best games in this list. I really, honestly, guys, there's not a lot of games that are going to make it into this S tier today. Wildcard right at the gate. Funny how we have a completely wrecked, and then an S tier. Like Wildcard is going to be one of those games that, you know, everyone else didn't necessarily see coming, but they have been in development for quite a few years right now. Like, I think 4 or 5 years. You know, from the team that did Words with Friends, worked on Age of Empires. So big team here with a lot of experience, and the game is fun. Like, I was like, when I'm playing that game and I lose, I get mad. I get so mad. I almost rage quit when I lost that tournament. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys saw that tournament of me playing Wildcard, but like, I got so mad that I lost that game. But it is fun. It's a lot of fun. And I think that the gameplay, the graphics, and the narrative, the quality that the team is bringing when they put anything out is a super high caliber. So I really urge you guys, if you've not checked out Wildcard, go look at my live stream that I did here just about a week ago. We had a fun live stream of me playing this game, and you know, you'll get to see kind of what Wildcard is all about. I've streamed it a couple times now, and I'll definitely be streaming it more in the future. I'll be streaming a lot more in the future. So a lot of fun. The game itself, if you guys don't know, the game itself is kind of a mixture of League of Legends in a way, and in like a TCG or a collectible card game like Magic the Gathering. So you build decks of cards that have monsters, right? Monster decks. But you're actually playing them in a 3D arena. And there are like 3 different pathways essentially that you can throw these cards on, and they kind of like start to auto battle and go and battle each other, right? You know, and they're battling each other. So, and then you're fighting and supporting them in different ways, and it's actually really cool. So make sure you guys go check it out on my channel, and you know, give Wildcard a little bit of some exposure, because one of the top games for sure on this list today. Play with something other than controller? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they have support. You know, this is one of those games that is still in development. Right now, you can only play. Really, it's only enabled for controller. We know. Come on, Agent Gen X. You know how I feel about that. You know how I feel. All right, moving on. Moving on. Axie Infinity. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, wrecked. I'm not even even with all the stuff that they have come out with recently, which they, you know, I will give them. I almost want to move them into a DRT. I almost want to, guys. But really, when I look at that Axie Infinity as a game and what they're doing, even their ecosystem they're trying to build now, and I look at all the other games on here on this list, I really honestly don't see all these games here. I feel like they have all done a better job creating a fun game that people really want to play. I think Axie has done a good job of like riding off of their success, their initial success that was all off of play to earn. You know, they don't want to say that's the case, but it was. And now they're riding off of that and the money they garnered during that time, which has allowed them to sponsor esports teams and people to come in and do a bunch of tournaments and things like that. But I mean, without that money there, I don't really see people picking up this game because it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Esports really should pop up around a game that is fun. I could see esports popping up genuinely around Wildcard, not because people have paid to have esports tournaments and things ran. Now, it's great to have paid tournaments and things like that, but just in general, if that's the only reason people are playing it, which I feel a lot of times is what happens here with Axie Infinity, for the tournaments and things, is they're just trying to get paid. And I get it. Yeah, this is a game you played. You have assets in it. You know, you're committed. But, you know, when you talk about quality in comparison to pretty much everything on this list, I don't see Axie Infinity ever coming back and being something significant. You know, they have a brand. Maybe they can pull it out the toilet. Like I said, you know, with their recent changes, it kind of straddles on the fence for me. I almost want to make it a D. But I still think that it's in this wreck category until they can really do something more with the overall brand and the chain that they're working on and everything else. I just don't see it. I don't know how you guys feel about Axie Infinity, but let me know. Maybe you think, hey, maybe you think Axie Infinity is still amazing and they're better than they ever have been. Let me know what you think about that. I don't know, but I mean, will I give them props for what they did in the past? Sure, I always do. I always acknowledge the fact that they did help open the doors. They were one of the first ones, but they were also the first, they're also the first story or lesson to be learned in play to earn gaming as well. Hey, here's how not to do it. So, yeah. So if you're going to talk about that as well, I think that the wrecked category for me, you want to bring history into this. Yeah, they've wrecked enough. They've wrecked enough. All right, The Walking Dead Empires. This is from Gala Games. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but we have played it on the channel only once. Only played it once on the channel. Only got to play it one time. You know, there is an upcoming playtest, or maybe there was, or maybe there is an upcoming playtest here of The Walking Dead Empires pretty soon, I believe, and I will be jumping on that. But it is a mobile focused, which so it's a mobile focused, base building survival game, which is kind of cool, actually. I mean, honestly, man, I love The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. And so, that to me is a win right there. That to me is a win right there. So, and this is produced by Gala. And like I said, I played the game already. It is fun. It's totally fun. Like, as far as like mobile games, this is the style of mobile game that I see myself playing. Like, I don't play a ton of actual mobile games on my mobile device, But if I was out somewhere doing something where I was like, oh man, I got some time to kill my mobile, let me pop up this game, The Walking Dead Empires would definitely be one that I could see myself pulling up and playing. It has that stickiness to it. The game loop is simple, but fun and basic, you know, and you got all these zombies going around, and so you have the satisfaction of just killing all these walkers, and then also building your base up and surviving, and maybe even helping other people, you know, survive too, which is kind of fun too. So on this list, man, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I gotta give Walking Dead a solid B. I really think that out of all the mobile games, they're definitely one of the ones that could go the distance. And with some of these new updates, I think it could definitely move into like an A category, you know, as well, because they're adding more and more stuff for crafting, which is going to be cool. So I'm excited about that. Abe says, "What about Upland?" Upland is I'm sorry guys, it is a trash game. If I was going to rate Upland, I would probably put it in the wrecked or the D category. And let me tell you why, man. Upland is just not my style of game for one. So, but that out the window. It's not really much of a game. I mean, you're going around on a map, you're buying properties. Like it's just not super fun. You know, in comparison to these other games, I feel actually have a fun game loop to them. I just Upland is just not good. It's just not good. It's like a land speculation type of game. I don't, you know, I never really got Upland. I played it, tried to play it multiple times. I've never been a fan. So no, I would probably put it in the wrecked category or maybe D. You know, somewhere that's where it would be good. It would go for me, just so you know. Upland absolutely wrecked. I mean, yeah, like I said, not a fan. Never have been. People have asked about it many times. It's not a good game. You know, like now we have really great games in Web3. We have great NFT games that are doing really good things. The bar is higher, guys. Agents. We're going this high. We're going right here. Right here to the top. We're not going to go down here no more. We're not taking it no more. We're not taking it anymore. The quality for NFT games is up here now. Right? So if your game is trash and it's down here, well, you got a game out. Great, you got funded. Who cares? If your game isn't up here, then we're not going to review it. We're not talking about it. It's not going to get kind words. That's just how it's going. That's how it's going down. Part of what we're doing today. All right, moving on. Stache rant over. Big Time. Big Time is a great game. You know, I would say it's shy. Okay, I'm going to put Big Time in the A tier, and here's why. Big Time is a really great game. It doesn't go S tier to me, even though I know it's won all the Game of the Year awards, and I think it is a really great game. But what I do think they're lacking a little bit is in content. Now they know this, and they're actually doing a really good job of trying to get content out every month and get something new out every month and updates every month, which I applaud them for. So like they're definitely on that straddle of S tier to A tier, but I mean I think they're a solid A tier game, and you know, the only thing that could really, the only thing that really could hold them back from getting to S tier is by stopping doing updates, right? I think they need to do a little bit more for solo gameplay too, which would be great, in my opinion. I know it's very much meant to be a co-op game, but solo would be great. Solo would be great too. I don't know how you guys feel about that. How do you guys feel about Big Time and playing and having solo content? I love playing with other people. I want to get we're going to get a game night together here. I don't know if you guys have, we haven't talked much about this, but a little bit about it in the agent only Discord. If you guys don't know, you know, you can be a agent. You can join as a member here on YouTube, and coming soon to Discord, you can be one in our agents program, and that gives you some really cool benefits and perks. In particular, one of them being a Discord channel only for agents in this paid group. And it's, you know, it's not your average crypto paid group, man. We're literally just people that hang around and play video games together, but you get top tier access to me and a bunch of great benefits every month, including access to tons of these games like the ones you see here today, early access before anyone gets to play them. So like we had, you know, Agent Gen X, who's in chat right now, and Agent Jaxie, who are both in chat right now. They both got to play Wildcard with me. Almost nobody's gotten to play that game. So, you know, the benefits are real in the agent program. So you guys can hit the join button here on YouTube. There's a join button right here. and it will help you to get in that program. For everybody else, you know, we do have this coming soon to Discord, so jump in our Discord and get ready for that. And we'd love to have you guys. We'd love to have you guys as an agent. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing about it is, like, I tried to get as many on here as we could. You know, I do switch it up. I've had Splinterlands on before. I've had Grid on. I've had a bunch of other ones on. You know, I've had a bunch of things on. Yeah. Big Time feels very linear to me as an MMO. Yeah. Ghost Cat, you nailed it on the head, man. That's one of the things, is it just needs a little bit more variety. A little bit more variety, a little bit more content. You know? Yeah, A&K, well, you can still be an agent, man. I mean, like, you still get perks, access to games. You know, maybe you can make the gameplay sessions with us if you're staying up late or hanging out. You know? We try and do them at different times, different, you know, days. So there is always something for the agents to do. And like I said, we're actually going to start doing an all GIA game night. So where we have special mission ops with our agents, where it's me and just them, and we go and play games together. We're going to have one with all the entire GIA, our entire community. So we're going to have a community gaming night coming soon. So we'll all be in Discord voice together and playing some of our favorite games. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep it moving. Undead blocks. Undead blocks. You know, on one of my my past tier lists, I rated them a little bit lower. I think I rated them in like the C category. And I will say that, you know, with some of their latest updates, the fact that they're going mobile, the fact that they just released their earnings, even though the earnings, I know there's been a little bit of issue with that, I do feel like Undead Blocks is in a solid B category at this point. Now, do I see them really going much higher than this? I don't. I honestly don't. And here's why. You know, this is a game that started off as a very much crypto-focused game, and they've kind of gone beyond those bounds, which is great. Now, what they need to do is capture a good mobile audience, I think. And I don't know. I'm not sure that they're poised to really go that distance, right? To get the type of audience that they really need for this game. The game itself and the core loop and everything is fun. We just played Undead Blocks with our agents here the other day and had a good time. I really enjoyed playing it. But it can only go so far. You know what I'm saying? As far as like longevity and playability, you can only play Undead Blocks for so long. Right? So I'm going to give it a solid B rating. But they have a bunch of great updates. So if you guys haven't checked it out recently, they have now enabled earning. If you have one of their NFTs, their Genesis NFTs. They also are going to have mobile here pretty soon. So that's going to be pretty cool. Be able to download on mobile and play multiplayer. That'd be great. That'd be great. So I'm excited about Undead Blocks. Solid B. Solid B. I can't give it any higher than that, though. Because like I said, I don't know that it has longevity. It's fun for what it is, but it doesn't go much beyond that. All right. Next up on the list. You guys ready for this? Champions Ascension. Champions Ascension. Where do I rank these guys? Champions Ascension is a game that is if you guys don't know, it's a 3D fighting game, kind of similar to like a Tekken, like a Tekken 6 or Tekken 7, but with like fantasy characters. But beyond that, like that's really just like the core of the game. Beyond that, they have a whole metaverse that you can actually do like mini games in and hang out and socialize in. And in comparison to almost every other metaverse out there, they've done a really great job of A, building a core game that the metaverse can survive around, and then B, making the metaverse environment itself actually fun to exist in and interesting. And so I gotta give a kudos to Champions Ascension. I don't know where you guys rank them. Let me know in chat where you put Champions at. But I really think they have done a stellar job, man. They keep launching great updates. They just launched a 3 versus 3 ability for the arena, which is really cool. And they have, they keep doing some of their cool in-game thing like ranked racing and some of their other games at the pub. And so I don't know, man. They have a lot going for them. I really think that Champions Ascension is a solid game. So I'm gonna have to give them an A tier for sure. Solid A tier, almost an S tier with this game. But a solid A tier game with Champions Ascension. And if you guys have not played Champions Ascension, definitely get ready because I'm going to be going into the arena here pretty soon So later this month for sure, and we're gonna play it. So you guys get ready. And the great thing is you don't need an NFT to play. You don't need an NFT to come in and play. So keep that in mind. New merch is fire, huh? I have to go look at the new merch. I haven't seen that. I have to go look at that. Thanks for the old update there. Where is Blancos? Blancos didn't make the list this time. Like I said, I rotate games around. So Blancos is a great game. I always put Blancos pretty high. They may have fallen a little bit on my ranking just because of some of the changes and stuff they've made over the last, 6 or 8 months. But still, Blancos is a top game. Yeah, Champions is great. Let me know what you guys think about Champions. Okay, let's move on here to another game. This one is another one coming from Gala Games, and it's Townstar. Now, in previous tier lists, I have told you guys where I put Townstar. I've told you where I put it, and it's been in the wrecked category because they literally just botched this game up so hard. And I think it was an early mistake by a young Gala team that didn't have their footing just yet. And I think that, because of that, they definitely had a lot of problems. So I don't know where you guys would rate Townstar. You can tell me in chat. But, it's been wrecked for me. It's been in the wreck category because of this. Because they clearly, they just did, they enabled play to earn. They didn't have the economy at all down. It totally tanked the game. There was, all kinds of issues with the client and cheating and all kinds of other things, right? But now, what I will say is that I got to give them a little bit of quality. I'm not taking them out of the wrecked, but I got to give them a little bit of effort because they have made an effort recently to go back and redo the economy. They're doing a buyback of Town Coin, which will now be Gala. So Townstar will be powered by Gala Coin and no longer Town. And they're redoing all the tokenomics, and the game is going to be kind of redone as well, graphic wise. So I will give them credit that they're making quick changes. It went down, and then they're like, okay, let's get on this and change it. In contrast to even what Axie has done. So I'm almost inclined to put them in D. Guys, now that I'm thinking maybe they go D. I think that they're at and they're just struggling to hold on to D. They're like, D, don't let go. So I think we're gonna leave them at D. I think we're gonna leave. We'll see. I think they could easily fall back down erect if this buyback does not go well, and they don't do a good revamp here with the game. Yeah, and like I said, I really they probably deserve to be in the wrecked category right now, but I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give them a D. Hold on to D's nuts. No, it's wrecked. Agent Gen X is like, no, that shit's wrecked, man. Just wreck it. Wrecked. Don't let go, Gala. All right. Let's go back. Let's take another one here from the back. Let's go into Thetan Arena. So Thetan Arena is a MOBA style game, a classic MOBA style game, right? So that's one thing it's a genre that people really like playing. And when they launched, they totally botched their tokenomics. Everything about the tokenomics in the game, the NFTs, everything, the currencies, all of it, just totally screwed. Everybody knew this. It affected everybody. It affected me. It turned me off from playing the game. It turned me off from playing this game for sure. And because of that, it's never going to have good favor in my heart. It's never going to. But the game itself is actually not a bad game. It's not a bad game. So, in general, I'm going to probably still give Thetan Arena a D. Because whereas the game loop is fun, and there are actually quite a few people who play this game, it doesn't bring anything super different to the genre. It doesn't really bring anything super interesting to the MOBA genre. Like, NFTs included was cool, but that they screwed that up. And there was nothing else that they brought that was like a little bit different. Their little take on what was going on here with the MOBA genre. And so, because of that, I think that I got to drop them in D tier. The They screwed the pooch on the NFTs and the economy early on, and now they just haven't brought anything new or nice to the table. Game Loop is fun. If you want a basic MOBA to just replace some other basic MOBA that you've been playing, this is one that you could try. You know, it's solid, but the NFT aspect of it is pretty much gone. Gonzo. All right, moving on. Moving on. Dead Drop. Dead Drop. I've been talking about this game for months. I've tried to give you guys the latest intel, the inside top secret intel on Dead Drop, because I absolutely believe that this is going to be one of the breakout games when it comes to NFT enabled games. Absolutely believe this. And so I told people when they first announced, and they said, come to our website and sign up, and you get this cool Day Zero badge. And then they use that Day Zero badge to then deliver a bunch of founders' NFTs that then gave you access to their game while it was in early development. And let me tell you, you know, this is the brilliance of going this route, because they gave all this away for free. Nothing was paid. There was no sale. And because of this, they have 95% unique ownership of their NFTs, of 10,000 NFTs. That's almost unheard of when it comes to an NFT collection. I don't know if you guys realize that, but that is what Dead Drop has done when it comes to NFTs just out the gate. Not only the fact that this is a game being produced by Dr. Disrespect and his team at Midnight Society. So right there, they have a huge promotional arm with Doc being a anchor when it comes to the FPS genre and content creation and marketing. But the game itself they're actually doing is super fun. I have a lot of fun playing this game, even in early access right now. The game itself is fun. It's smooth. It feels good, and you know, it's a little bit different of a take and a feel from your regular Extraction. So I mean, I gotta give it S tier. I feel like it's right up there with Wildcard. It is prime time ready. If it had nothing to do with NFTs, people would still love it. And you saw recently, if you guys didn't see this, I don't know if you did or not, Dr. Disrespect had some comments about NFTs. And NFTs in gaming, like you know, extraction shooters like Dead Drop, how it's really cool that, you know, someone could find something in an extraction game that's super rare and then you know, try and extract with it and end up with it, right, before they die or before someone else gets it. And he got a ton of flack. A ton of people got back to him like, no, you're a stupid, Doc. NFTs. And then he fired back at him and was like, no, man. You're stupid, basically. That's kind of like, you're stupid, Doc. No, you're stupid, man. You're stupid. Moglin, fellow at 12 a.m. founder. There we go. Midnight Society founder in chat. Love it, man. So I gotta give Dead Drop an S. It is top tier S tier, guys. And with this next this update that they're gonna have here in March 17th, we're only a week or so away. It is going to be insane, the level of quality. And for all you guys that are listening right now, here's a little alpha drop for you guys. I'm going to be at the Dead Drop event in Texas, and I'm going to be on stage playing Snapshot 5 with Dr. Disrespect and the Optic Gaming crew for this event. So you're going to see your boy Secret Agent Stache hanging on stage with going head to head with Dr. Disrespect. Stache versus Stache, guys. You heard it here first. We're going to hype that, man. We're going to have a lot of fun there. You guys watch. We're going to the top. We're going to the top. So, yeah, I mean, I really do think Dead Drop has it. I think that they do a great job as a team. And I you know, out of everybody that I've seen that is building in any kind of Web3 capacity, they definitely have the legs to go the distance in the mainstream audience. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Jay Dunk. Yeah, man, that's great if you're going to be there. I'll be there. Definitely come say hi. Definitely come say hi. Yes, please like, subscribe, share, follow, join. Hit the join button. Do all the things. I appreciate the support, guys. I appreciate the support. Okay, moving on. Moving on. What about Dookie Dash? How do you guys feel about Dookie Dash? Did you see? If you've seen this game, is a limited run, limited time event, is what we'll call it. Maybe less than a full-fledged game. It was a limited time minting event, we'll call it. But it got a lot of attention. It garnered a lot of attention from mainstream gaming, and a mainstream, well-known Fortnite gamer, Mongrel, won the golden Dookie key, the golden Dookie. Guys, come on, really? It's like there's someone out there, and I'm on a one of those hidden camera TV shows. Dookie Dash, huh, guys? All right, look. I will give them credit because they did make a splash in that kind of respect with this. But the game itself was it was one of those simple kind of trashy games, and it's not something that was meant to be a game with longevity, but was meant to be a fun mint game. I'm going to put it at C though. I'm going to rate it at C above Thetan Arena and Townstar and Axie and Alien Worlds, because even though, yes, it wasn't the best game, they did do a good job with rolling everything out, with engaging people, with making money from it, we'll say too. So they did do an interesting job with that, and then also being able to reach a mainstream gaming audience in a way that made sense, right? Like, hey, these NFTs are what you're going after. They're a prize to be won. And so it turned an esports eye onto what's going on. Now, C is probably generous. C is probably generous because, like I said, there was a lot that kind of went on with this game, but you have to give it credit where credit is due for the uniqueness, we'll say. That's a real reason why I ranked it as high as I have. Because typically, if it was just this game, it would be in the red category, like the D category for sure. But it was the inventiveness that they had with this, and making it a skill-based mint, and a very desirably skill-based mint, right? At that, and the way they went about it, like I thought that was very clever versus what we've seen in a lot of other NFT games, So this kind of puts it's in its own different category. This is an event-based game, which I actually think is, and I appreciate and I think is actually interesting. And this speaks to what I was talking about when it comes to longevity in gaming, right? There's so many games being developed now that so many of them are just not getting enough exposure. They're not getting any fan base, or maybe you play them for a little while and then they fall out of favor very quickly, right? A lot of games don't take into consideration how long a game is really going to stick around, because every game is trying to be built to be around forever. Because that's what they essentially have to do. They have to try and make it all their potential players confident that they will be around forever. Because if you go in it saying, no, we're only going to be around for 2 years, that's it. This game is only going to exist for 2 years. People will be like a little bit like, what? Huh? But maybe that's what we want, and that's kind of what Dookie Dash did here. They proved that concept actually can work in a way where a limited time game can work in a capacity. So I think it was interesting, and because of that, I give them a C. You guys disagree? I'm all for it because, like I said, I wasn't a big fan. I'm not a big fan of the game. I'm not a huge fan of the cash grabbiness of it. But I do got to give them some credit for being inventive in this category and making something that really brought the eye of mainstream gaming over. It really did. All right, let's move on though. Let's move on. Another game here that is very mainstream worthy and very ready, I would say, for the mainstream game is the Fabled. The Fabled. This is a MMO RPG that very much feels like Elden Ring. I mean, very much like Elden Ring, right? It has a similar kind of Souls combat to it, similar kind of movement and like look and feel to it. But it will have NFTs enabled in it for the gear. You'll be able to see the legendary and the characters. The characters will also be NFTs in this game. We played this game on stream, but I was having trouble with the stream itself. So you guys may not remember it because we did not leave the stream up. But the Fabled is actually it was a pretty good game. It was a pretty dang good game. I'm gonna give the Fabled a B. I mean, they're a solid B, and I think that they have a chance to continue to move up and be a really good game. I think they just need some sort of story or narrative to the game, because like right now, like right now, I think the story is has some potential, but is lacking a little bit when it comes to like connecting it to what you're doing in the game. But definitely a game you guys should go check out if you have not. We're gonna play the Fabled again here pretty soon because I did not get very far, and I want to get a little bit farther in the Fabled. But I think that Fabled at B, solid game, definitely a game that I could see people playing outside of Web3. And, you know, do you need the NFTs? Probably not really to be able to play the game. Like right now, you don't need any for sure. But you'd be able to, I think, find these in the game itself too. I do know that there's chances to find this stuff while you're playing the game. I set the standard for C. Well, like I said, I don't think so. I don't think Dookie Dash is like setting the standard for C, but like, yeah, dude, if you're not better than Dookie Dash, then you're definitely, you know, like, how hard is that to do? I guess, well, not very hard. But you can see with the rest of these games here too. And I told you specifically why. Specifically why. All right, Superior. Let's go, Superior. I'm okay. So now when we talked about there not being that many S tier games today, you know, I think Superior is right there. I have put Superior in the S tier at other times, but I think Superior is a solid A and very close to a borderline S as well. They have one of the best looking games right now in Web3. The art for this game is amazing. The overall feel and look of the game is super great. They're doing a great job with updates, I think. There's just something missing about this. And, you know, it's funny, me and Jake talked about this quite a bit on our tier list when we did this together. If you guys want to go check that out here on my channel, I have a playlist for all of the tier lists. And I had Jake from Unchained Gaming on, and we talked about this, and it was like, yeah, we really like Superior, but there's something like maybe missing, you know? Right now you have like these roguelike runs that you go on, and it's a ton of fun, especially with some friends. But maybe there's something just missing. You're like, yeah, maybe like a you know, battle royale style or something like that, or like you're battling a limited set of teams to go through more stages, something there. But I mean, totally, you know, a great game, and I, in my opinion, this is the flagship game from Gala Games right now that is 100% playable. You know, we have some other Gala games on the list here, which we'll talk about, but Superior is a solid A. And I think they're going to continue to do really good things. I think they're going to be one of those teams that continues to iterate over a really good concept, and they're going to find something that really hits, you know? Same, like if you look at something like a Fortnite, a lot of these games come out and they're not hits right away. There's a lot of games that come out, guys, that are not hits right away, and they take a little bit of time of massaging and getting the community to really form around it. And I think Superior just needs something that can do that for them. One of the few you still haven't tried. Man, if you guys have not tried Superior, go give Superior a try. This is one of those games that our agents in our agent program get access to. So we've given out access to Superior if you guys are part of our agents. I'm telling you guys, our senior agents that are in our agents program here in YouTube, that you hit that join button, you could get more information about it. They get all the sweet perks. We get some really cool stuff, man. We just dropped them Undead blocks, coffins, loot coffins, for the launch of their earnings, which was cool. So they got all those for free just by being part of the program. Just by being part of the agency, doing our job here, spreading the good word of Web3 and NFTs. You know how we do it. All right, EFAS, Earth from Another Sun. Now this is a pretty fun game that I think is just like not. I don't know what is up with it. Like it doesn't get the traction. I don't think they have the marketing that they really need for this game. But Earth from Another Sun is actually a pretty fun, like, action adventure space MMO. And I think that they have some really great elements in this game. I don't know why they don't have more people playing it, to be perfectly honest. I think they just need more promotion. So I'm going to put Earth from Another Sun here at a solid B. If they just had some better marketing, I think that they could do a little bit better, but I'm not really sure what it is they're missing. Maybe it's the title, Earth from Another Sun. I mean, that sounds cool. I like that name too. I don't know what it is about this game, like why it doesn't get more play. but it is actually a really solid game. I think it does need, you know, more players. There are AI things in there, but the overall game itself, I think, is actually a lot of fun. Is a lot of fun. There may be some missing elements there too, kind of the same way I feel about Superior, where it's a game that's in early development. It has good bones. There's lots of good potential there, but there's just something that's missing, you know? Kind of how I feel about it a little bit, you know? You're an Admiral founder there, huh, Moglin? Yeah, like I said, I like what they're doing. I had a lot of fun. I played it with the team. We went and captured a planet. That was hella fun. I really enjoyed it, man. Panda, what's going on, brother? Oh, I see Lawrence hanging out too. Lawrence Blake. So yeah, Earth from Another Sun, I think a solid B. It's one of those games that like has kind of added NFTs onto it, even though they were already in development. So it's been out for a little while, but like I said, it just hasn't been able to pick up traction. It hasn't been able to pick up traction. I don't know why. All right, let's move on here to our next game, and that is Stella Fantasy. That's this one, SFTY right here. So Stella Fantasy. This is a game that I just recently played and reviewed. It is like a waifu style anime gacha type of game where you're going in and you're fighting a bunch of enemies in kind of like a 3D battle kind of, you know, look, you know, I wouldn't say medieval battle look, but yeah, kind of. And you're kind of going on this quest to, like, you know, save the kingdom. And man, I mean, in the style of like true anime waifu goodness, woo, there is a lot of boobies in this game, guys. I mean, it's basically like booby cutscene and then fighting, and then boobies and fighting, and boobies and fighting. I mean, that's it. That's it. If that's your thing, then this is definitely a game for you to check out. I did do a full review of it. You guys can go check out and see the gameplay. The gameplay itself, when you're actually playing the fighting portion of it, is actually pretty cool. That I will say is like the game is well done. Like the graphics are done very well. There's lots of cutscenes. There's a lot of great animation. But yeah, it is very much like just a lot of boobies and a lot of big boobies bouncing around and fighting, and you know, it's like just it's classic anime waifu kind of a video game. But you know, I will say that the game itself is not necessarily my cup of tea. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. It's still very well done, and I think it is actually going to do pretty well. I'm going to give it a B here in the tier. So I think that, and it's borderline. Like, so I would say that like it could almost be a C in my opinion. But I think because of this how popular this style is right now, I think it actually will do pretty well, to be perfectly honest. And so the NFTs in Stella Fantasy are the waifus that you're going around collecting, essentially. Like they're your characters in the game. And they'll have other things that you'll craft and stuff too. So I do think that, you know, they are incorporating NFTs in the right kind of way. And it may be a game that surprises people. You know, this genre is very popular. Maybe not as much here in the West, but definitely in the East. There is popularity here, but maybe a little bit more in the East. And I don't know if you guys have checked out Stella Fantasy. Let me know what you think in chat. Let me know what you think in chat. Gods Unchained is on the list. It's, Toasted Waffles. We have Gods Unchained right here. Here's the Gods Unchained logo. How many likes to shave off my stash? It's never gonna happen, Sam. What do you need to play Stella besides the night when the wife and kids are not watching? Yeah, you definitely need that. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. It's not like pornographic in any kind of way. You don't need anything. Like, so right now Stella is in closed beta, but they're going to be opening that up here like within a month. So by the end of March, I believe, Stella Fantasy should be open for everyone to play. I saw, yeah, Panda, I saw your comment. Yeah, Chronos. I mean, you know, Chronos is okay. We played it the other day. I don't know if you saw that, if you were around for that one, Panda. But we played Chronos on the channel, and we had a good time. Actually, it was a cool one to play like multiplayer with people, and that's a good I think multiplayer community game. So if you guys are going to be joining us in Discord for our community game nights, that might be one you guys will see us play. That might be one you guys will see us play. Oh, getting that Ruby Pass tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, Big Time is a great game, man. That's another great one for the whole community play. Yeah, I mean, definitely check the Discord more often, guys. I know that, let me tell you something here about Discord. Look, I know there are many Discords to choose from. Ours is just one, right? Everybody is in like 50, 60, 80, 100 Discords. So it's hard to give your time to a bunch of different Discords, but try and check in. And if you can't check in once a week, maybe join my newsletter. You can go to my website, CryptoStache.com. And that way you can go join the newsletter, and the newsletter gives you a recap of everything we did in one newsletter every week, and then everything that's coming up that week. So you get to see everything in one snapshot. That way you don't have to worry about Discord if you're just too overloaded there and you can't check. You can go to my website, CryptoStache.com, and get in on the email list there, the newsletter, and we send out the gaming intel report. And on top of that too, if you guys didn't know, we also just posted about this on Twitter. We have been creating podcasts out of some of our longer form shows, like Around the Metaverse and the NFT Beat, and some of the really great interviews that I do. So if you guys want to go check out some of those shows in podcast form because you can't watch a full video or you like listening to the audio version, you can go check that out now. Go to my Twitter, twitter.com/CryptoStache, and I just stuck it in chat there for us over on Twitch. But I'm at CryptoStache on Twitter. You can go see the link there, and yeah, you can catch those shows in podcast format, in audio format only. So something to take in consideration. Toasted Waffles, you're playing Axie season 3. Yeah, like I said, man, I can't do it. I don't even know why. Nah, I'm over Axie so bad, as I think a lot of people are. Yeah, Discord live can be draining. Blue Punk Rocker, that's what I'm saying. I understand that, and that's what I mean. It's really hard to be able to keep up with all the things. So when I say stay in Discord, check out Discord, I just want to make sure that I'm getting you guys information, and you're not missing it. Because there's a lot out there. A lot of channels out there. Moggs is at his max his Discord at 200, and my channel made the cut. Thank you, sir. The GIA appreciates you. Yeah, that's crazy, and that's what I'm saying. So I understand if you're in our community, we really want it to be a community, and so I think we really strive to do that and keep it smaller and keep it close knit. And so we would love to have you guys hanging out there more often if you're not. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it on going. EV.io. This is a great little shooter. I'm going to put, funny enough, man, I'm going to put EV.io at the A tier. And let me tell you guys why. Okay, so EV.io, what I like about them is that the approachability to the game is almost zero. I'm not, like the barrier to entry is almost zero for this game. So it has high approachability. I had a little reversal. It takes one click to get to EV and start playing. One click, you get to their website, boom, you're already fighting, and you're pew-pewing it up, right? They don't make NFTs a necessary part. It's very obfuscated. The game itself is fun, fast-paced. There's a great esports element to it. There's already a great community around EV.io. I hate the name. EV.io is the name of the game. Like, you're just calling it EV. I know everyone calls it EV.io because it's so generic to just say EV, I think. Oh, I'm playing EV. I don't know. But that is the one, that's one of my main complaints, I would say. Now, the other reason why it doesn't go S tier is because it doesn't really bring anything new, I would say. Nothing specifically new to the FPS genre. I do like that it is very smooth on a browser, that it incorporates NFTs, but it's not like super inventive in any kind of way. In the way that like Dead Drop is, right? Where it's like it's taking a concept like an extraction shooter and making it go vertical, right? EV.io doesn't have like that take on something, right? But I think it's a solid game and one of the best shooters It's out right now. So if you like shooter games, EV.io is one of the ones I always recommend to people who are just getting into NFT games and they want to try something. And just this is really fast. You can jump in, boom. You don't have to know anything. You start playing right away. You can get a hang for it in a matter of just a few minutes. And everyone can play because it's browser based. It's browser based. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep on moving. Gods Unchained. Gods. This is one of the longest, well-established NFT games in the history of NFT games. Gods Unchained. They were one of the first ones to really start doing anything, to really start pushing the boundaries of NFTs in gaming with their mission and their vision. They turned into Immutable X, which has now become one of the industry leading solutions for scaling for Ethereum and for gaming in general. And so, they definitely deserve a lot of respect. They definitely deserve a lot of respect. I used to play a lot of Gods Unchained. I don't play so much anymore these days, guys. But I'm still going to give Gods Unchained an A. Now, it's not S tier. I think there's, definitely some things that Gods Unchained need to do. They're on the brink of getting mobile finally. They're very close to mobile and launching mobile. So that is a big, big, big feat. That will really help to propel them forward in their battle against like Hearthstone and MTG Arena. And there are some other TCGs that are coming up. I don't have as many TCGs in the list this time. Sometimes I have like 2 or 3 on the list. Right now I just have this one. We just have Gods Unchained on the list today. But I do like TCGs. I've just gotten to the point where, man, sometimes these matches in Gods Unchained, they just take so long. 15, 20, 30 minutes sometimes even on some of these matches, and it's just kind of crazy. So it's not as casual of a game to jump into. You really got to follow the meta. You really got to be collecting cards in every set and keeping up with it, and it's a lot to keep up with. But when you talk about full-fledged communities and ecosystems, Gods Unchained has it down. Solid in almost every respect. They're still balancing some of their earning elements, but even that, I think they've done a really good job with rolling out here over the last, over the last year or so. Yeah, I mean, like in contrast, a lot of people are talking about Splinterlands in chat. So Splinterlands is great, and it is, when we talk about like, contrasting card games, collectible card games, Splinterlands is the other side. It's super quick matches, but it's auto battling, right? I like Splinterlands too. Just didn't make the list today. Okay, moving on. Star Atlas. This is a game that's in development right now and has a lot of big high hopes. They got kind of hosed with the whole Solana debacle, the FTX, going down, and just Solana in general. Will they be able to survive? I think so. We've talked about this. I'm still a believer in Star Atlas. I still think that they have a lot going for them. They are not giving up as a team. They have put out a lot of content recently with, being able to now jump into some ship combat, some dogfighting, some racing, being able to take your ships out in multiplayer with your friends in their showcase. So when people keep saying, "Oh, well, they don't have gameplay, they don't have this," then they just keep doing more and more, and we keep seeing more and more. Now, the one thing I don't like about Star Atlas as much is their, some of their sales, man. They definitely got a little bit crazy on some of their sales. Maybe a little bit too many sales, maybe a little bit too high dollar sales for some of these big items. And I think that doesn't give a good look, I would say, really, especially early on right now. But with that being said, I think I got to give Star Atlas at least an A tier here. Once again, in development, still at a point where you're not seeing much of the main game, but you're seeing little game elements. And it looks good. It looks really good, and the controls are on point. They're very detailed, so there's a lot of granularity in the controls, a lot of granular control with what they're doing. And I think Star Atlas is going to deliver something that's going to be pretty interesting and fun to play. Perfectly, it's a long-term vision. So this is one you have to buckle up for. And I think hopefully people knew that from the get-go. This was going to be a game that was going to be in development for at least 5 years. I knew it. So that's why I feel like so I do think that they have some adversity to overcome as a project for sure. But they have been, they have been consistent with their updates here recently. So I have to give them a little bit of credit where credit is due. And Star Atlas team continue to not give up and continue to develop, even though people are hating and even though, there's a lot of naysayers out there, continue to put out quality updates. And yeah, I think we will see. I think we'll see the hopefully what we'll see is that, kind of an expanding universe where they start off with core elements and keep expanding, not having us wait around forever. That's what we don't want. Star Atlas compared to Star Citizen, you think the Star Atlas ships give you more value in comparison? That's a good point. That's a damn good point. At this point, you're probably right for what you get as with an NFT ship. With an NFT ship, Thetan Hex, MMORPGs are a whole beast. They're a whole beast, man. I mean, there's a couple that are working on some stuff. I don't have any on the list today, but like Mirandus is definitely one from Gala Games that is trying to do like a whole MMORPG style. It would be like Guild Wars style. But that's a tall order. Just to do an MMORPG is a very long endeavor. Let alone do one that's really good and has NFTs in a full ecosystem. Crazy. All right, let's move on. Illuvium. Okay, so I'm going to be perfectly objective with this, guys. Illuvium is not in my S tier. I know a lot of people think S tier. I'm going at this point right now, I'm putting Illuvium in the A tier. Illuvium has like same thing. I feel the same way about Illuvium as I kind of do about Star Atlas. They have a great start. They have a kind of newish team, but a team that is doing great with developments and updates. Illuvium has put out a little bit more content, a little bit more playability than Star Atlas, but not that much more. And I think that they're at kind of similar points in their development arcs, right? With Illuvium, I do think that they have done a great job with the way that they rolled out land and other things, and they just dropped Illuvatars, which is their like PFP component to the game, right? So you get this Illuvatar and you can kind of customize it to your, with different things, and they have different rarity scores, so you can kind of like compete with that. But it's interesting. It's not really my thing. The Illuvatars are not necessarily like, oh, this is amazing. I want to, I want to have this. I'm really all about playing the main game. The open world is what I'm all about when it comes to Illuvium, not the Illuvium Zero, not the Beyond stuff. But I do think it's cool that they have this ecosystem that they're building, and they have a vision for a multi-game ecosystem, and they're already well on their way to do that. So, Illuvium at a solid A. S tier is very possible for Illuvium, I think, as it is with a couple of these other A tier games that I have here. I think S tier is very possible. All right, moving on. Fighter Tanks. This is another game from Gala Games. We played this a bunch. We played this a bunch, man. This is a great MOBA. A little bit different when it comes to the MOBA genre with the tanks and how you put them together and two different types, and you kind of you're going out there and smashing. MOBA, like the MOBA style itself, like the gameplay is not much different than your average MOBA, but I do love the tank element of it. I'm gonna give this a solid B. I think that it is a good game, and if you love MOBAs, this is an easy game to jump into. Now, where I almost drop it down to C, and it's very close. I almost drop it down to a C because of the way they've done their original NFT sales. This is the biggest complaint I see from people, and it becoming a very pay-to-win type of game, where they did these sales for these tanks originally, and the ancient ones and the high-tier ones are very, very expensive, right? So they have made some changes to help with that, but I think that there are some things that they could still be doing to this game to improve it, to really bring it up to where it needs to be. B tier, really, yes. I mean, like, I almost wanted to put it in C tier, but we really got. No, I'm gonna put it to C. I'm gonna put it to C for sure. And you know, then if I look back at this and I'm really looking at my final rankings, I probably am dropping. I'm probably dropping Dookie Dash down to. No, I'm gonna leave it C. I'm sticking with my original things. I think Spider Tank's a C. You know, the game is solid. It is a fun game. I think it does have some issues that need to be worked out. I think that you know, they do need to get to the point where they deliver on some of the promises for founders that got maps and things like that. So we're going C with Spider Tanks. No crypto kitties. Sandbox. Let's go. Sandbox. You guys know I've been a huge fan of the Sandbox over the last few years, since the beginning. Really since the beginning. I think what the Sandbox is doing is very unique. They're going S tier. You know, okay. To honestly evaluate this, actually, I really think maybe they belong in A tier. Sandbox is not a game for everybody, but it really deserves to have that high rating because of everything they've done. They've done a great job with partnerships. They've done a great job with like rolling out features. They have a bunch of brand new features that are going to be rolling out for season 4, which is coming very soon. You know, I think that they have the best position to be like the metaverse that makes it, you know, the metaverse platform with the Roblox style platform that makes it, which has NFTs. I really do feel that that's the case. And when you say like, is it really a game? Like, well, it's a gaming platform. So it is definitely different than a lot of the other games here that are just single standalone games. But Sandbox is a development platform for gaming experiences. And so I think it does apply. I don't know what you guys think about it. Let me know. Let me know what you think about Sandbox. Does it even fit the criteria to be up here? What's on S? Can't see. Dead Drop and Wildcard are on S tier. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that the Sandbox does belong here. I think that there's lots of really cool games within the Sandbox that you can play. And just like kind of what it is, being this experience you can go into just play a bunch of games is pretty cool. Well, the funny thing is that people are somehow confused about this. You don't need to have a bunch of money to create and publish a game. I mean, making a game, yes, is expensive. But I've seen tons of solo developers go in there and you don't need to pay to download the game maker software. And you just go in and start making your own stuff. I mean, you can totally do that. And then it's right there in the game maker. So people can go and find it. I mean, there's a ton of people making their own stuff. So that it's like your stuff is definitely your game is lost in a sea of other people's Sandbox games. But yeah, you can totally go on there and start playing around and making games for free. You don't need to have land or anything like that right now to build those experiences. Now, to like have it on the main Sandbox map, eventually when that launches, you will need to have land. All right, Phantom Galaxies. Phantom Galaxies. This is an RPG style space MMO, and honestly, solid B, if not almost an A. I think Phantom Galaxies has done a great job. Now, the one thing I will say is they're a little short on content, and so they have been, similar to what we've seen with Big Time, they've been releasing in kind of stages, and I feel like they've been a little slow to release the stages and have content come out. But the content that they do have come out is high quality. And that I actually really appreciate. It's very story driven. And for that, I almost want to put them in A tier. I almost want to give them an A tier. But I think that they're still a B right here. I think they're still trying to find their footing as a game and how to entice people long term. And so I think that Phantom Galaxies is one you guys should definitely go play if you have not. But it does require NFT, and that is another thing. So you have to have an NFT to play it right now. So that is something you have to take in consideration. But a lot of fun. A lot of fun to play. Just needs a little bit more content, I would say. And obviously having some of those capabilities that we're looking for long term, when those get in, there'll be a lot more going on too. people to be able to build on their own planets and have crazy income sources from those things. And yeah, so there's a lot coming for Phantom Galaxies, but solid B for Phantom Galaxies in this list. Okay, moving on. Impostors. Too many A tiers and you know it. I don't think so, man. I mean, I think that all these games kind of deserve A tier. I think they're all really top games. I really do feel like that's the case. All right, Impostors. You know, this is one of those games that actually is, you know, I had more fun than I thought I was going to have playing this game. I'll be perfectly honest, because I was like, okay, this is kind of an Among Us clone. You know, how fun could it really be? I didn't really get into Among Us that much. But the mini games in this game that you play and like the other elements to it is actually really fun. It's actually pretty fun. I'm going to give Impostors a solid C. Now, I like Impostors. I want to give it a higher ranking here, like a B ranking, because the game itself is a lot of fun, but it is pretty much a clone game. They really have to come with something a little bit different that is going to take the, you know, social deduction genre a little bit further, and, you know, versus just kind of riding off of the success of what Among Us has done. And I feel like right now Impostors has some fun game loop to it, and I enjoy playing it, but I think that there's just something missing. You know, there's something missing from it to put it in a higher tier here. And you know, the NFTs that are used for it are cool, but I just, you know, right now you can't use them, and so there's still some developments that need to be, you know, that need to be seen here from Impostors. I think they have a start to a great game. I do want to see some more updates for them, but yeah, I think that's kind of how I see it. I think it's something fun to play with friends, but it needs that unique selling point that just doesn't have right now. A story mode for Spider Tanks would be interesting. Yeah. A story mode for Spider Tanks would be interesting. I mean, Willius, if you want to say Dead Drop is not an NFT game, though, I mean, it totally is. Putting that one mechanic into the game itself makes it an NFT game. I don't know what to say. It's a game that has NFT features. Now, you know, we can argue of like what makes an NFT game or Web3 game. Well, if it incorporates any element of NFTs or blockchain into it in any kind of way, even if it's a very small way, I think that counts. I think that counts. All right, finishing things off. We got 3 more to go. Last Expedition. Last Expedition. Now, this is a game that we have not seen a lot from, but I have played this game, and even in its early state, guys, this game is super fire. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel about it, and I'm just gonna tell you, it's S tier. Last Expedition is going to surprise so many people. It's that game that is in like super stealth development. They're not a very vocal team, but the gameplay and what they're doing with this game, like it was just different enough. You know, like different enough. You know, take on an extraction shooter / battle royale game that got me like hooked to the screen. I'm like, I couldn't stop playing this game, and then I've been begging the teams, God damn it, when can we play more Last Expedition? Stache needs to get out there, and they're like, just hold your horses, Stache, hold your horses, we'll get you out there. But man, the game itself, I'm telling you, go back and search here on my YouTube, search Last Expedition on my channel, go find my gameplay from that. It was a live stream. And we had so much fun playing this game. It was, you know, like I said, so basically what you're doing here is it's a PvE game. So you're racing against other teams who are trying to basically get off of this this planet that had an expedition go wrong. And so you guys have all landed there. You crash landed there, and you're competing against these other teams to get this power core, to get like this last jump ship to get off this freaking planet where this last expedition was doomed. And so there's all these monsters. So you're fighting against monsters. You're also trying to get some environmental upgrades, and then you're fighting against the other teams to try and be the one that like gets the power core to the ship first, right? And it's great. It's great. And so they are right now they're in the middle of porting it over to UE5. So it's looking even better. And I'm telling you guys, this is going to be one of the best games on Gala Games. And it is going to be one of the top competitors for NFT enabled games here over the next year. Hands down. Hands down. All right, Mojo Melee. This is a fun auto battle style game, kind of like Teamfight Tactics style, all the way. Is how I feel about it. And you know, I think it's a solid B game. It's one of those games where like I enjoy it. I can't probably play it for too long. I like the competitiveness of it, and I like the how we can do quick matches with the community, and that I love about it, which is why you'll see us probably playing it quite a bit with the community. But after a while of playing, like, this is not one of those games where like you play it for months and months and months and months on end. It's how I kind of feel about it, right? It's cool to play in like tournaments or do things like that, but it's one of those. It's just, to me, it doesn't have that stickiness enough to it to make me want to play it all the time. Now maybe if they had like a really good in-depth story mode that they add or something of that nature, or they have really great tournaments that are built in, that could up them here to like a tier A. But I think a solid B tier here for Mojo Melee. Definitely one fun, a really fun game for like esports style tournaments though. I really had a good time playing in the Mojo Melee tournament that we just did here about a week ago or so. If you guys missed that, go check that out. But solid B for Mojo Melee. All right, last but not least, the crazy bunny with his eyes crossed out. It is none other than My Pet Hooligan. This game is one of those games that kind of catches you off guard, man. It kind of catches you off guard. They're these crazy, almost gangster style rabbits. I mean, not all of them are gangsters, but they're mischievous rabbits that are in this, whole cartoon universe that has a very heavy battle royale style mode to it. And but beyond that, just a huge ecosystem and we'll almost say metaverse around the game itself. So as kind of your own hooligan, right? The hooligan, you're going in there, and it's an open world style game. Right now, they don't have, they're getting ready to release a brand new version of the game, which will have some updated modes, including like some really cool, last man standing battle royale style modes. Right now, you just go in and you just blast on other people, right? You can blast on bots, you can blast on other people, but the quality of the game itself, the animation, the content that the team consistently puts out, the direction the team is going with not only doing a game, but they're also doing an animated feature film. They also have a bunch of other things that they're working on that have to do around with the ecosystem of the game itself. And the community is second to none. I don't know if you guys know, but the My Pet Hooligan community is amazing. Animation is on another level. It really is. They have music videos that are coming out. Their motion capture technology is super awesome. They've also included ChatGPT AI into their models, and they have like AI models that can talk back to you and shit. I mean, the stuff these guys are doing is next level. I've seen them up close and personal. I went to their studios here in LA. I'm going to be at their event, their in-person event here this Friday. Where they're having an event here in LA. I'm going to be there in person, hanging out with you guys. But everything I've seen from this team is just top tier team, top tier development. What they're doing and the way they're going about, working all these things out step by step, keeping everyone in the loop and engaged as a community over time is hard to do. And this team does it better than anybody I've ever seen. Mobile game coming too. Yeah, great point, man. I mean, there's so many good things going on. And FYI, J Dunk, I don't know where Hooli is. I swear. Time to answer, bro. What happened to Hooli? I don't know what happened to Hooli. It was not me. I did not kidnap Hooli. I don't know where he's at. But My Pet Hooligan is going S tier. We only have 4 S tiers this time, and I really do think that out of all these games, My Pet Hooligan has the IP. They have the strength that can really go the distance. This is one of those things where it's like you're going to see their characters blow up. And Hooli is going to be out there, and people are going to be talking about him and collecting him and doing all kinds of things. It's crazy. They have their own music videos. There's a guy who's doing these awesome 3D statues of your NFT, so you can get one from him. He's actually working on one that is Secret Agent Stache theme. A Hooli that's going to look like me, like this, with all my Secret Agent Stache standard issue on. That's awesome. They have so the community around it is amazing. And this game is going to do a really big thing. So if you guys have not checked them out, please go check it out. Right now, they kind of have it NFT gated, But if you just go in their Discord and ask them for access, they can give you access to the game, and you can go jump around. But like I said, a brand new version is coming here. I think in just a week. A week. So this is a great time to go check out My Pet Hooligan and get ready for that next update. Yeah, you can get a bot and get access to the game, but honestly, they even have like little passes that if you just go ask really nice, they'll hook you up with for sure. But it will be a free to play game. So right now, like it gated access, which is cool, and you can go grab those on the secondary market. But yeah, My Pet Hooligan, the only other top tier, I really do think, man, that if you look at these S tier games, I try to give you guys my honest, fair take on every one of these games where I really think that they're at, as far as, you know, playability and viability in long-term markets, in mainstream markets, you know, in what they're doing, and you know, love me or hate me, this is it. This is your tier list, your Stache updated Web3 gaming tier list. Let's go. Let's go. All right, agents, mission complete. So what do you guys think about my tier list here? I want to hear your thoughts in chat as we're finishing things up. Do you guys think that my tier list was spot on? Do you think there was a game that should have been a little bit higher or a little bit lower? Did I just totally blow it and get it wrong? Let me know what you guys think in chat in the comments below. And on Twitter, I'm going to be posting the list here on Twitter. So go shout from a mountain on my Twitter post on this as well. But that's it. That's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stache, over and out.
Secret Agent Stache. Secret Agent Stache. Oh, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams. Secret Agent Stache.